first one that I like really identify as PTSD was a kidnapping experience in college. I was studying abroad, got bamboozled as young 20-year-olds and went into a taxi that we shouldn't have, and were driven out into the middle of nowhere, followed by a car of huge men. Yeah. And we realized that we were definitely at risk of being sold into sex trafficking. And the following months from that, I like couldn't be in a car by myself. I couldn't be home by myself. I always felt like someone was trying to attack me. And like even now, to this day, which probably means I need to do some work on this. But if I am at a really, really high stress state, like not even no triggers happening, just at a high stress state, and I'm laying in bed, if I'm at like a high enough stressed out state, I guess, I will start like thinking I'm hearing someone in our house.
Oh man.
And go into a full panic attack. And I'll wake up Cooper and be like, I think there's someone here. So now we have a protocol. Which this is like, I'm sure feeding into, like, as I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, maybe that's not the right solution for this. But then he goes, turns on all the lights, checks all of the doors, like every closet, making sure that there's no one in there. And then hopefully it'll lower me down. But like, I still struggle with this, and that was 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I mean, can I ask a couple of questions around the kidnapping?
Of course. Yeah.
Okay. So, you said you were in Europe. You were with a friend in the car?
Fiji.
In Fiji. Okay.
Yep. So I was studying abroad in Sydney, and we went to Fiji for a girls' weekend. There were 4 of us.
Okay.
Got to our hotel. We were staying at a 5-star hotel. So we thought that was the way that we were protecting ourselves. Like, okay, we're young, four young girls. If we're at a really nice hotel, nothing bad should happen. And that should never happen. Somebody came to our hotel room and pretended to be a hotel worker, dressed up in the uniform, came in, looked at our TV, said, oh, it's not working. We would like to comp you guys tickets to the Fiji Pro, which is a surf event. And we were all like, oh my gosh, amazing. That sounds wonderful. Had we done any Googling, you actually can't go to the Fiji Pro as a bystander. It's only photographers and surfers and their teams.
Got it.
The second red flag there was he said, here's a number of the car. They'll pick you up downtown tomorrow. If you do any research, you do not go down to downtown Fiji by yourself. It is not super safe. Fiji is the number 1 country for sex trafficking in the entire world. And we should have done a lot of things differently. And then
but that being said, I mean, when you're, 20, 21 years old and like someone gives you something free, you usually just take it and go. You don't really ask too many questions.
That's so true. I mean, we were so young and like, believed that everyone was good in the world and whatnot. But we went downtown. We got into this car that looked like it was from 1960s, so dirty, so beat up. Not something that this hotel chain would be offering to any of its customers.
Guests, and is it one other friend with you or 2 people?
So there's 4 of us total. There are 3 other girls.
4 total.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's a girl who's about 5 foot sitting in the very front seat alongside the driver, and then me and the 2 other girls in the back seat. And I was sitting in the middle.
And what was the driver like? Like, what was his appearance, etc.?
He didn't speak English very well. He looked kind of disgruntled, not like wearing a tie or a professional clothing of any means. This was not someone that came from the hotel, for sure.
Okay, so someone in like regular clothes.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank God. Cooper and I were just starting to date at this time. So when we landed in Fiji, I was like, I'm gonna get a SIM card, and because I want to talk to Cooper the entire time instead of being in Fiji and looking around and enjoying this place. Young love. And thank God. So I was WhatsApping Cooper and I was like, this does feel a little weird. And I sent him a picture of like the guy's ID placard was hanging off his mirror. And so I sent Cooper a picture of that. And I was like, what do you think I should do? And he was like, well, just keep me posted right now. I think you might be okay. But like, I'm glad that you're telling me that there's a gut feeling.
Okay.
Then the car starts pulling up to like random spots on the road and exchanging gas tanks, red gas tanks. and collecting money from random guys on the road.
Okay.
Putting the gas tanks in the back of the car. And at that point, I was like, well, I thought like the Fiji Pro was like off the coast of Fiji, so why would we need so many gasoline tanks?
Right.
That didn't make much sense to me.
Yeah.
And after the third stop, when he got out of the car, I was like, guys, I don't feel safe. Like, there's something going on. We need to get out of this situation.
Were you the first one that expressed that?
Yeah. And
what was their reaction?
So one of the girls was from the Bronx, and she was like, yeah, fuck this. We got to get out of this. the littlest one out of all of us. The other two went into total freeze state and were like petrified, scared of what was going on.
Okay.
And so this girl in the front and I are like, all right, what are we going to do? And so I said, I've got my EpiPen with me. We can stab him in the heart.
Okay.
None of us know how to drive stick shift. We will figure it out and get out of here.
Okay.
He gets back in the car. We're all kind of silent, keeps driving, and then a car starts following us with like 4 or 5 other men. And they were all pretty big. And so, and then my cell phone service started to go out. And I was like,
right,
this is not looking good for us. We got to get the hell out of here. So
yeah. And did he speak English or no?
If he did, he acted like he didn't.
Okay. So you weren't sure?
Wasn't sure.
Okay.
So thankfully, my friend also is like, it's go time. Turn the fucking car around right now.
Yeah.
And I, for the first time in my life, come up with a brilliant lie and sell it like I'm a goddamn actress and go, our parents are waiting for us. They know that we're on this trip. We've already sent them a picture of your ID. They know that you're the one taking us to this place. We actually didn't think it was going to take this long. We have a dinner reservation. They're expecting us to be there in 30 minutes. You need to turn the car around and get us there. And then...
That's awesome. Love that.
Thank you. I'm very proud of myself to this day for coming up with that lie.
The fact that you came up with that quickly and like so specific and like parents, not like a friend waiting, that's amazing.
I think that's like my chronic anxiety. I always have a backup plan. And even when I was like little in church, I would have these like visions of being like, if someone attacks us in the church, how am I going to get out of here with my family?
Like, what's your exit route?
What's my exit route?
Yeah.
That probably says a lot about my psyche. Someone please DM me with what I should do with that.
I also feel like in schools, they kind of like instill that in you a little bit because like there's like those active fire drills. There's an active shooter, which unfortunately is like, I think such a U.S. American thing. Yeah. These active shooter drills in schools that they have us do.
Yep.
But that probably is like where it started for you, that you had to think of exit routes.
That makes so much sense. Honestly, I'd never thought about that.
Yeah.
I feel a little bit better about having that part of me. Thank you. Okay, so we were in the car. Then he's like, I'm scared. I don't want to turn around. And I was like, okay, you're scared. I'm scared. Like, this is not good for any of us.
What is he scared about? Like the guys behind him?
I think so.
Maybe he was also like being forced to do this.
And since then, I have come up with a story for him. Okay. Totally out of my imagination. And he's like, oh, I don't know. And the car following us flips and starts tailing us again. And then they start calling. And so I take the guy's cell phone and I'm like, stop calling us and stop following us. We're going back to the hotel. I do not feel well. Our families are waiting for us. Like, repeat the story again.
Yeah.
And the guy, I will always remember, goes, honey, you don't need to be scared. Why are you so scared? And I said, I didn't say I was scared. I said, our parents are waiting for us and I don't feel well. We're going home. Stop following us. And then I hung up the phone and he kept calling. And so I chucked the phone out of the window and I was like, drive. And drive very, very fast.
That gave me the chills, honestly. Like the fact that he's like, honey, don't be scared. Like,
it was awful.
It's creepy. It's controlling. It's
everything.
Gross.
Yeah.
Gross. Yeah.
So at that point, and like for years, I've also like gaslit myself into thinking like, did we like overthink this? Like, were we fine? Were we safe? And what I've come to is like, it doesn't matter if it was going to be nothing. We felt very unsafe. There were very weird signs.
1000%. It doesn't matter whether it was going to be okay or not. The fact that you didn't feel okay, that in itself is enough.
Yeah. So thankfully he gets us back to the hotel. We throw cash at him and we're like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And then did
the other guys Did the other guys get out of the car when you guys got to the hotel?
No, so they stopped following us like 10 minutes before we got to the hotel.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's when we were like, okay, we're in the clear. And at that point, I had like posted the guy's picture on my Facebook feed. Like Cooper had helped pull strings to get things in line just in case something bad happened. Called my aunt, who's like kind of plugged into the UN, and was like, we gotta maybe get her out of here. Bless all of them. So we get back to the hotel. We all go right into escapism and drink a shit ton.
Yeah.
I don't think I slept a wink that night. I slept with a butter knife like this the entire night and did not sleep. We moved our flight back early and flew home early.
That's
and
smart, yeah.
When we landed, all of us were like so shaken, like sobbing, crying, put into therapy. The school was like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. My mom ended up flying out to Australia and staying with me. My parents were really cool. They were like, you know what? If you fly home, this is going to beat you. And that experience is going to win. If you stay the rest of this program, you get a win.
Yeah.
And so I stayed, but my mom came in and helped me. And then when I came home, I was on anxiety medication for the first time in my life.
Right.
And on the good days, I was like, oh my God, this is what normal people feel like. Like, this is what everyone feels like. This is amazing.
This is what everyone's brain is actually functioning like, yeah.
Yeah. And I also was taking, I think, lorazepam or something to, like, calm me down. I had night terrors every single night for probably 6 months where I would wake up screaming. And Cooper and I started dating officially, I think, when I came back that summer, but had been seeing each other for several months before. And he just would hold me like every single night and be like, it's okay. We're going to get you through this.